Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Woody Johnson. I'm one of your co-presenters for today. I really appreciate your joining. Just a word of housekeeping before we get started. We are recording today's meeting, so there will be a link on our public website to get to this recording shortly. And in addition, all lines are muted at this time, so please know that. My understanding is that the vast majority of you joining us today are current First Communications customers, so I definitely want to say thank you for your business. Your business is very important to us, and it's appreciated. And like always, if you need anything, contact anyone at First Communications, and we'd be glad to do what we can to improve our service to you. Today's topic is about a couple of the online tools we offer customers, a couple of our portals or our systems, the Customer Management Portal and the Performance Management Portal. We're going to actually co-present here today. I've got Matt Farkas, our Director of Software Engineering, with us today, and I'm very glad to have him as well and his expertise. Matt's going to start off with the Customer Management Portal. So, Matt, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you.
Thank you for the introduction, Woody. I am Matt Farkas, and I will share with you our agenda for today. First, I'm going to talk about our Customer Management Portal, or otherwise known as the CMP. I'm going to tell you what it is. I will show you the main and new features we've been working on, how to access the portal, and I'm going to go into depth reviewing some of the features. And then I'm going to hand it off to Woody, and he's going to show us about our Performance Management Portal, aka the PMP. And he's going to show you how to access the PMP, tell you the benefits, and do a feature review as well. So the CMP, what is it? Well, this is our online web-based tool that you as a customer can log into and perform certain features against your account. It is a responsive design, so most of the core features are able to be viewed in or on different devices. So what are some of the main features? Well, we have online bill pay, and in this area you can perform things like make one-time payments against your account, sign up for auto payment, and do things like view PDF copies of your invoice, view call detail history, view payment history, view unbilled calls, and similar like items. In online ticketing, you don't have to necessarily call us if you have a repair issue or question about your account. You can submit a ticket online and you can view, track progress, and essentially what it is, you're having a two-way conversation with a FirstCom representative, perhaps a repair technician, that's there to help resolve any issues you may be having or just answering general questions about your account. There's also a help center where we have documentation about our products and services. There's an area that lists upcoming events such as customer advisory boards, webinars, and other information. There's something called account linkage for customers who have many accounts or have a parent-child billing structure. Essentially, when you sign up for the Customer Management Portal, your accounts will be linked by an email address. So this supports single-clicking into other CMP accounts so you can navigate to other billing accounts. And then we support something called Manage Users. And this option allows scenarios such as if I wanted Woody to pay my bill, but I wouldn't want him to put in tickets, I can create an end user to do that. So how do you access the CMP? Well, you can simply go to my.firstcom.com, or you can go to our main website, firstcom.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a button or hyperlink that reads Customer Login. Both will get you to the same place. And then what you're going to want to do is at the bottom of the screen, there's a create an account function that will navigate you to our registration screen. And you're going to want to have a few pieces of information ready to go. You're going to want your account number, and you're going to want to use your parent account number. And then we're going to ask for some contact information. So just like your first name, last name, telephone number, and then the email address you would like to use to sign in to the account. And then you'll have to decide a username. If you can't think of a username, I would suggest using your email address. And then we will require your latest invoice number or billing zip. So this is what my.firstcom.com looks like. This is the login page. And at the bottom, you can see the registration area, and that's where you would enter the registration screen, which looks like the following. And here it is. Here's where you would enter in those pieces of information I listed off. And you will have to make it past the security, and you'll be able to register. After you register, you'll be able to set your password, and you'll be able to log into the system. When you do log into the system, this is what the main page looks like. So as you can see, you have a number of different data elements that you can view that's related to your account. You have things like your recent invoices, the account balance, when your next bill is due. You have information related to your CMP username that you created, such as the username, the email address it's related to. You have information related to your account, like your account number, the account name of your billing account. If you have an account manager, we list them as well, along with other contact information, and even online ticketing, snapshot of your open tickets, closed tickets counts, just so you know if you need to take action on any pending tickets. And then as I mentioned before, we do have the upcoming events and announcements where you can see information listed, and that's on the middle right-hand side. So for the main navigation, you're going to want to use the panel on the left, and this would let you access other parts of the system. The first area we're going to look at in detail is the billing portal. And as you can see on the left-hand side, we've navigated to this area by going underneath the billing menu option and by clicking on the billing portal link. And as you can see here, we can perform actions like making a payment, viewing a copy of our bill, a PDF copy, what our account balance is, what our last payment amount was, and similar information. This is also where you want to be if you would like to sign up for our auto payment or paperless billing. And another good thing to point out, on the right-hand side, you can verify what is on file for your primary contact address and your billing address. Here's an example of the payment screen of someone creating a payment profile. And what this is, it essentially works like Amazon. You would enter in your payment information, and that payment information would be on file. And we do use a PCI certified solution, so you can feel secure entering your data. At the bottom of the billing screen, we do have some new invoice reports. One of the new reports is this invoice summary screen. And essentially, if you would like to display invoice summaries for different accounts, what you would need to do is select the account in the upper left-hand corner. You have the option to select all of your accounts to see the summary of all of your accounts. You have an option to select just a parent account, or if you have a children account, those children accounts will also be listed. And then as you can see the invoice summary in a graphical format in the upper right-hand corner, or in a grid format at the bottom. And it's a great way to review trends across time. And this will show you the previous 12 invoices. And then if you want a more detailed look into your invoice, we have the invoice detail screen. And this works the same way as the invoice summary screen. In the top left, you would want to select the account you would like to view. Once that's selected, it will populate the invoice drop-down menu on the bottom left, and then you can select an invoice number to view in detail. So for this particular account, we can see this customer has some account-level services, a long-distance switched service, and just some plain old telephone services. And then we have the summary or the total amounts per service that were on that invoice. And then you can also click the Details tab, and this is where you could drill into the individual line item on the invoice, where you can see breakouts at the service number level. And I will mention that that screen is exportable. And then we also have the usage summary page. And again, just like the previous two, you'd want to select your billing account, select an invoice, and then you can see per service number what those charges were for that invoice. In the upper right-hand corner, as you can see, we have a summary of the services you have per usage type. And at the bottom of the screen, you can have a more granular approach to finding perhaps what service number or distance type or usage type, such as interstate, interLATHA, domestic 1+, and you can find out what charges were in those categories. And that screen at the bottom is exportable as well. Okay, now we're going to move on to the Help Center. So on the left-hand side, you can see we navigated to this area underneath the Support menu option, and we clicked on Help Center. So this is where our product and service documentation can be found, and this area is continually updated. If you would like to submit a ticket, this area is also found underneath the Support menu. So what you're looking at is, of course, the Submit a Ticket screen, and if you would like to submit a ticket, you could have billing organizations you can relate your ticket to. So if you're having an issue or if you have a question about a particular location, you can select an organization if that is listed or presented to you. That will simply help us expedite resolution. And then what you'd want to do is, of course, describe any symptoms you're having. The more detailed, the better. We do have some pre-populated drop-down menu items for certain situations, maybe if your internet service is down or having problems making phone calls. Those selections are available for you to select, and again, that would help our technicians expedite any problems you might be having. And at the bottom, if you wish, you could attach any attachments that you might find helpful. All right, so once you submit a ticket, this is where you would view the tickets that you personally have entered. In this example, we see this particular person has entered 3 tickets. And I would like to point out the different statuses a ticket could be in. It could be open. It could be what's called awaiting free reply. So in this case, a FirstCom representative has taken action on the ticket, and they are requesting more information or want to have a dialogue back and forth. And one of the good things about the ticketing system is that this will likely be an email conversation back and forth. When anything is updated, when they are looking for a response, there will be an email exchange. And then, of course, tickets can be solved also. So those are the 3 statuses that you might see. So for any customer that used to have or currently does use CMP, we have created this new screen called View Account Tickets. And this screen makes it available for you to view tickets not entered by you. And it also allows you to search for tickets across all of your related billing accounts, not just one at a time. So you can see by the filters available here, you can search for all accounts, you can search for specific accounts, you can search for ticket status, those three I mentioned, and you can search by date range. So if you are an individual with perhaps 10 locations, this would be a great screen to use if you would like to see status across your organization. Okay, here's another menu which is fairly new and which you might find beneficial. On the left-hand side, you can see we selected the Services menu option and we clicked on the Active Services link. And what the screen lists out are your active services with us. And it is per account, so you, in this case, you would probably want to select the parent account or any child account you would like to see the services for. As you can see in this example, we've expanded out a particular service, the plain old FC POTS or plain old telephone service. And you can view items such as the service number, the billing status, when it started, and the billing number, which in some cases is a ring to number. And like some other screens, you can export this out to Excel or CSV or other formats, and it will break it out into an entire data dump, so you can get an idea of what services you have on file. And so as with one final note, we do continue to develop and extend CMP functionality and integrate services and products. And we always welcome your feedback, and you can do so at cmpfeedback@firstcom.com. Or I have a little snippet there of what it will look like on the CMP homepage if you need to find the email link later. All right, and last thing here, if I could direct you to the left-hand side of the screen. Underneath the Products menu, this is where you would navigate to if you would like to navigate to other products or services you may have, or if you would like to find more information about them. And one of those products is a performance management portal, and this is how you would access your PMP system. And this is where Woody is going to take over and talk to you about the performance management portal.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Sure.
You know, it's great to have Matt on a call like this, especially when we're talking about customer tools. Matt has led the development of a lot of our internal and customer-facing tools here. Though he does scare me a little bit because he said something about having bills paid by me, and I know that Matt's got the kind of expertise that could have all the bills sent to me. So, Matt, whatever you need, you just let me know what that is. So, as Matt mentioned, under the CMP, under products, if you are a data customer with FirstCom today, that is, you have some kind of internet access or some kind of data networking access, you will have access to the performance management portal. So if you just click on that, you'll go immediately to the landing page, the dashboard of what we call the PMP. I will let you know that the information that you'll see here is from a live customer, and we do have permission from that customer to use their data. So I pulled this just a couple of days ago in order to present it to you here today. The PMP is based on a platform made by a company called SolarWinds. If you're not familiar with SolarWinds, SolarWinds has been a global leader in network management and network monitoring for about 20 years now. Our Network Operations Center uses SolarWinds as one of the tools that they use to monitor our network and your network. And so what we basically do for the PMP is give you a login to the SolarWinds platform for your part of the network and your devices on the network. In this particular example, I know it's a little bit small to see some of it. The landing page, you basically want everything to be green and everything at 100%. This is a little summary of the network. If you can read it, this particular network has 18 nodes, but only 17 are reporting and 1 is in critical condition. If you were to go onto this landing page and you were to see that scenario, the most likely thing you would do is then jump to the network page and try to start to figure out what exactly is going on and why I have that one node that's not reporting. From every page on the PMP, there'll be links to drill down and get additional information. For instance, here, I've hovered over that link or that node that is not currently reporting, and what I'm seeing is 100% packet loss. Obviously not something we want to be going on. So if you were to see something like this, you definitely want to start drilling down and finding more information. In this particular scenario from 2 days ago, what was going on, and I think this is a great example, is that we were actually migrating a customer location from our MPLS network to our new SD-WAN, software-defined WAN service. And so we were actually removing a router, which is what is reporting as 100% packet loss, and putting in an SD-WAN appliance. So this has actually turned out to be a very good example. Most times, if you hover over one of the nodes, you'll see all the basic information required to just get a quick glance. You'll see the IP address. You'll see the average response time, which is the round-trip delay, packet loss, which you generally hope is 0, along with some hardware stats as well, like CPE load available. Back on that home page, the summary gives you a little idea of what's going on right now today on the network. Is everything available? Are all the nodes available? And have I had any alerts to be aware of today? If you do, like we did on that last page, then you'd want to jump to the alert tabs and find out exactly what's going on out there. Let me take a minute and talk about event types. In this kind of a platform, networks are always changing. Statistics like round-trip delay, packet loss, et cetera, are always changing. And so there are always some type of event occurring. A lot of times those are warnings. A lot of times those are just informational. But the way this is set up for our customers today, if there's an alert, that's generally a critical event. An alert being reported means that someone in our NOC has to do something, acknowledge it, and go out and find out why that occurred. So an alert in our language and in the PMP language means that there is an actionable event that is occurring right now on your network. Sometimes we get some questions about proactive notification for customers, and we can do that as well. So we can set up different events to send an email or a text to whoever you like. I always have that discussion with customers and warn them a little bit. And if you ask for instance an email every time round-trip delay goes above 10 milliseconds, you're going to start getting a lot of emails that you probably don't want. But of course, if you'd like to see emails for something like a node is down, that's quite common with customers and something you might want to see. I'll give you some other examples of this in just a minute. Throughout the PMP tool, there are charts and reporting available. Generally, when they come up, they'll be for today or for this week. And then usually there's some drop-down menu to easily make changes if you want to. So I can go to the last 7 days, 30 days, this year, change the chart type with a simple selection of a drop-down menu. Here's an example in the middle of this page of basically a bandwidth report on a specific interface. So again, you can look at nodes, you can look at specific interfaces as well for any of the reporting or charting that's available in the PMP tool. This particular chart is showing an interface and showing both maximum transmit, maximum receive, average transmit, and average receive bits per second. And that can be a useful tool, however, just to kind of see what's going on overall. But it's very easy with just 2 clicks of a mouse to take that down like this chart shows in the middle and just show maximums. So if you feel like occasionally you're overdriving your port or overdriving an interface or overdriving an access loop, you can just take a quick look at the maximum receive and maximum transmit bits per second and get a pretty good idea of what's going on. And of course, nearly every report in the tool is completely customizable. So you can create your own report with your own title. You can decide what level to zoom into. You can decide the exact day and time. Well, if you go over to the Network tab and go into a specific node, you'll start to get some of the basic information about that node. Now, what's the percentage of availability today, this past week, this entire year? Are there any particular alarms that have been available? Are there any notes from our NOC that are worth looking, or that you should look at that may have been put in by our network operations people? You can even begin to look at things like applications, and of course, the detail also includes any IP addresses on that specific node. So this is very helpful to customers because keeping up with those kinds of things when you're very busy, like a list or inventory of IP addresses at certain sites or certain interfaces, can be somewhat daunting, and this makes it a lot easier for you. If you go down to the vital stats under the network tab, this is also a very useful glance of the network overall, so you can look at the network latency and packet loss overall, and then again, begin to drill down and see those same kind of stats at a node level, or those same kinds of stats even at an individual interface level. Here I show a chart that I customized for this customer for this demo today, showing traffic on an interface right down to 1-minute intervals. So the question always comes up, why would you need that kind of detail? I'll just give you a very quick example. Let's say that you're getting some user complaints out there. At certain times the internet seems slow. So you go out and you take a look at the bandwidth and you say, well, gee, it doesn't look like I'm overdriving my bandwidth, but somebody was complaining a couple of hours ago. And this goes on and off. So you start taking a look at all of some history there of bandwidth utilization at that node or at a particular interface, and you find out sometimes it is peaking, but I'm not quite sure why. I can't put my finger on what exactly is going on. So one of the things you might do is get in contact with us and ask us to put in a temporary alert. If you've got a 10 or 50 meg port on your network and you would like an alert that sends you an email every time that maxes out at near 50 meg. You do that for a week or so, and now you've got some places to begin looking. It happened at 2 a.m. 4 days ago. It happened at 2 p.m. today. And then you can start drawing some charts or doing some reporting that get that down to an exact time frame. And then you can begin to drill down even farther. Find out what application is driving that, or what, I'll show you some flows in a minute, but you can begin to find out at an application or a protocol level exactly what's going on. So for instance, in this chart, if you were in that kind of scenario, you can see that there's a certain application that peaked at a certain day and a certain time, and now you can begin to investigate at that level and find out what's going on and if it's something that you need to take care of. For all of our data customers, you get all of those kinds of charting and information and bandwidth statistics and network statistics and reporting that I've been showing you. For our MPLS customers, you also get NetFlow information. Now, other data customers, like internet customers, can also get NetFlow information if you'd like it. There is a small monthly charge to do that, but it is available to all customers. It's the MPLS networking customers that get this included automatically in their performance management portal. If you're not familiar with this term, I refer to NetFlow as call detail in an IP world. So like back at some of the things that Matt was talking about, you can look at your invoice detail, your call detail, and you can see when a call was placed, what day and time, and who placed the call, what phone number it came from, what phone number it terminated to, how long was it. You can find all that detail kind of information. Well, NetFlow gives you the same type of capability in an IP, in an internet protocol, in a data world. And so I can see what IP address originated a flow, I can see where it terminated, I can see how long it occurred, how much bandwidth was used on it. At a summary level, NetFlow gives you reports like the top 5 countries or the top 5 domains. All of this information is available to you. And additionally, if you jump to Traffic Analyzer in NetFlow, you'll see some additional information that you can also drill down into and find at a network, a node, or an interface level. So you can look at your top protocols. You can look at the top 5 types of services so you can see how packets are being marked. Are they being marked as you expect them to be, for the highest class of service? You look at top applications. I believe that the PMP at this point can monitor about 260 protocols and something north of 3,000 applications. So most likely we can monitor the protocols and the applications that you're using. And then if you need even additional detail, you can actually drill down and get into a traffic analyzer in which you can choose pretty much everything you can think of in an IP flow. So you can not only choose the time that you want to look, and down to 1-minute intervals in the day, etc. You can choose any applications or any group of applications, any protocols, ASN numbers, endpoints, who's talking to whom, on an IP basis. So it's extremely powerful, and generate reports based on all of those kinds of parameters. And of course, just like in some of the CMP reporting, in the PMP, you can export to PDF any of the reports or charts that are available to you. That's really all we had to present today. I want to thank Matt, and I particularly want to thank all of our customers for joining us. If you have any additional questions, please contact your local account manager. I hope you found this interesting and important to you today. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you very much.